I cannot believe that IBM took such a long time to release their first model of this year. They have dropped Granite 4 3 billion vision, which is based on their previous Granite 4 micro model, which was released around 6 months ago. We have been covering IBM models for quite some time, from their day zero, I would say, and they have been evolving quite nicely. The best thing about these models is that this is also free Apache open license like rest of this family. This one is a compact vision language model purpose built for enterprise document extraction, and today we are going to install it and test it on our local system. This is Fahad Mirza and I welcome you to the channel. Please like the video and subscribe and consider becoming a member. Please also follow me on X if you're looking for AI updates without any hype. Before I tell you all about this model, its architecture and feature, let's also get the installation underway so that we could keep talking. This is my Ubuntu system. This is my GPU card, NVIDIA RTX 6000 with 48 GB of VRAM. I am creating a virtual environment. If you're looking to rent a GPU, VM or CPU on very affordable price, you can find the link to Massed Compute in video's description with a discount coupon code of 50% for range of GPUs. Meanwhile, our environment is ready. Let's install all the prerequisites like torch, transformers and stuff. And then I am launching my Jupyter notebook after logging into our Hugging Face CLI. So let's run this. It is going to take a couple of minutes. So and don't worry about that warning. Let's talk about its architecture. So model is a 3.5 billion parameter total, and it's a dense language model um, on the backbone, which is Granite 4 micro as the base, plus 0.5 billion LoRa adapters on top. And this is what makes it interesting. LoRa stands for low rank adaptation. So instead of fine tuning all the weights of the base model, you train a small set of additional adapter weights and inject them at inference time. The practical benefit here is that the same deployment can serve both vision and text only workloads. Text only requests use the bare base model, vision requests load the adapter on top. For the vision side, image encoding uses siglib rather than injecting visual features into the language model at a single point like most VLMs do. And IBM uses something they call as deep stack, which is abstract semantic feature get routed into earlier transformer layers for high level understanding. Also, another interesting bit is that 8 injection points are there in total distributed across the network. That spatial awareness is exactly why it performs so well on document tasks, and you can check that out in this benchmark, and they have shared it in their model card too. I will drop the link in video's description. Now, to train the chart understanding capability, what they did, they built a pipeline called as ChartNet. You take a seed chart, feed it to a VLM which generates Python plotting code that reconstructs it. Then a code LLM augments that code to produce new chart variants across 24 chart types and 6 plotting libraries. Each sample has 5 aligned components: the code, the rendered image, the underlying data table, a natural language summary, and a QA pair. So after that, when you look at the benchmark again, this 3 billion vision model has hit 86.4% on chart to summary, the highest of every model tested, including the one double its size. So very impressive. Let's go back to the terminal. And now let's download the model and merge our LoRa adapter. So this is a simple command where we are giving it the model ID, and after downloading it, we are merging those LoRa adapter as I explained earlier. And the model is being downloaded. There are only 2 shards of it. It has also downloaded tokenizer and all the rest of the lot. And the model is downloaded and the adapter is merged, and it has also shown us this evaluation as it specifies all the layers and stuff in the model's architecture. Okay, so that is all done. Let's now do the inference. I have just changed their code a bit, which is present on their Hugging Face model card to do it inference properly. So this is where we are loading the model, passing it the images and prompt, which we will test shortly, and then we are displaying the table if needed. So I have just defined these two functions. That is done. I have just run the cell. And now let's test out the model. In order to test it, I'm going to provide this chart. This is present on my local system at the moment. And then this is the invoice which I'm going to use. So, and also it contains the tabular data, as you can see. So what this model can do, it can do chart tasks, like you feed the model a chart image and then it converts it into structured data, either a CSV of the underlying number, a Python script that recreates the chart, or a plain English summary of what the chart shows. So let's first work on this chart and then we are going to provide it the code. Let me take you to the next cell. And this is the code which I'm going to use, where these are the chart tasks and these are the prompt: chart to CSV, chart to summary, and chart to code, and I'm providing it the chart which I just showed you. So let me run this, and as it runs, let's also check the VRAM consumption of this model. So it seems that it's still loading it onto the GPU, so let's wait. And you can see that the VRAM consumption is pretty decent, I would say, for a model of this size and performance, just over 12 gig of VRAM. And the model has come back with the response. Let me show you the chart again. So this was the chart, and let me go down and see that, sorry, I'll just go up. So this is a chart to CSV where it has created it in the tabular form, and this is a chart summary which is totally accurate. I'll just show you that this was the task of chart to CSV, chart to summary, and let's go down to see if it has done any chart to code. The summary looks good, and this is the chart to code where you can regenerate the whole chart if you run this Python script. So let's run this Python script. First, let's install the libraries which it is using, like matplotlib and numpy, and then we will run that Python script. And that is done. Let's run that script. We might have to restart the kernel just to let them take effect, but let's first try to run this. There you go. So this is a chart, and if I just take you above to compare it with the original one, or maybe I'll display it here. So this is the original chart, and you can see that the heading is there because this is the one, unemployment rate NJ1. It is quite good, and if you compare some of the numbers on top of these bars, as far as I can see, they look correct to me, all of them. Even the um, color scheme is there, which is quite good, and X and Y axis, they also look pretty good to me. So I think that was a good code which ran in one shot. Next up, I'm going to do the table task. So I'm going to feed the model this image containing a table, and it extracts the full table structure into machine readable format, like it could be HTML markup, JSON, or OTSL, while preserving complex layout like merged cells and multi-column headers. So let's run this. I'm going to run the same task on the table image, and I'm just asking it to do HTML and this OTSL. And if you don't know what OTSL is, OTSL stands for Optimized Table Structured Language. It's a compact markup language which is specifically designed to represent table structure with cell boundaries and merge information. It is more token efficient than HTML for LLM processing. The model took its sweet time, but eventually it has come back, and this is a table. This is the output. The model has nailed a genuinely complex academic table, multi-level merged headers, grouped new, also grouped row sections, mixed numeric and statistical notations like asterisks and negative signs, all extracted cleanly. And if I just scroll down, even the OTSL output is structurally accurate and machine readable, which is impressive for a 3 billion model. I think this is exactly the kind of dense research document table that most VLMs, small VLMs, completely fall apart on. Okay, finally, let's do a value pair extraction from the invoice. Let me quickly show you where the invoice is. This is the invoice which I'm going to use, and this is invoice from their repo too. You can also check this out or use your own. So let's run this where we are extracting only specific value, and then I want to return a JSON object matching this schema. Let's run this. And there you go, this one was quick and it has returned me all the information from this invoice. Let me show it to you again. And like date 17th May 2020, if I just go back, there you go. It has extracted information very correctly. So look, I think pretty impressive model from IBM. This is why I said that I couldn't really believe that they took such a long break. Maybe they were cooking it in a quality fashion, which is always a good idea. But as usual, a free model, open source, very good license. Check it out. Let me know what do you think. Again, please follow me on X. Thank you for all the support.